Right now, as you watch this, someone in Ohio is reading a heartfelt story about a mother who lost her job. Someone in London is scrolling through a blazing debate about a new movie. Someone in Tokyo just clicked a 5-star review that made them feel safe about their purchase. But strangely, none of those people exist. Not the mother, not the debaters, not the reviewer. They were never real. They were, all of them, generated by machines in milliseconds for free. And here's what makes this so unsettling. You open your phone at 7 a.m., scroll X, check Reddit, Google something quick. Feels totally normal, right? Feels like the internet you've always known. But in 2025, for the first time in history, automated traffic grew 8 times faster than human activity in a single year. AI agent traffic, programs that browse and act on their own, exploded 8,000%. 8,000%. Oh, and get this, it's not just that they're taking over, they're starting to eat each other. AI bots scraping content made by AI bots to train new AI bots that will generate even more content for other bots to consume. A loop, a spiral, a machine talking to a mirror. Some researchers are calling it the death of the internet as we know it. And to understand why that might actually be true, we will need to go deep.
Welcome to this video from Null Hypothesis. So let's sit with a number that deserves way more attention than it got. 51%. That's how much of all internet traffic in 2024 came from bots. Not hackers and hoodies, not foreign governments, just automated software, scripts, AI agents doing their thing 24 hours a day while we slept. Now look, bots have always been around. Back in 2013, they already made up about 60% of web traffic, but those were dumb things, clunky scripts. You could almost smell them coming. Then smartphones happened, social media happened, real people flooded online, and for a while, we were the majority again. That reprieve? It's over. The Imperva Bad Bot Report, one of the most respected annual studies of internet traffic, tracked 13 trillion bad bot requests in 2024 alone. And their conclusion was blunt. The machines are back, and this time they're not dumb. You know, before generative AI took off, before ChatGPT, before the AI tools that now feel totally normal, building a convincing bot required serious technical skill. You needed to know how to code, how to mimic human behavior, how to fool security systems. Now, you basically don't. The barrier is gone. AI tools have made it trivially easy for low-skilled actors to spin up armies of bots that can pass as human traffic. Bad bot traffic jumped from 32% of all internet traffic in 2023 to 37% in 2024, a massive single-year leap, the 6th consecutive year of growth. And that's before you add legitimate AI crawlers, things like Google's new AI scrapers, OpenAI's GPT bot, Anthropic's Claude bot, ByteDance's spiders, Meta's harvesters. Those alone grew 187% in a single year. So we're not just talking about cyber criminals here. We're talking about the biggest tech companies on Earth simultaneously deploying armies of bots to hoover up the entire web. But right, so what are all these bots actually doing?
Okay, let me break this down, because bots come in 2 flavors, good and bad. And no, that's not me being cute. That's literally how the industry categorizes them. Good bots? Your search engine crawlers. Google's Googlebot, Bing, services that index the web so you can find things, legitimate, necessary, about 14% of internet traffic. The other 37%? That's where it gets dark. Let's start with credential stuffing. This is where a bot takes a list of leaked usernames and passwords, and there are billions floating around from past data breaches, and just tries them everywhere. Your bank, your email, Netflix, Amazon, over and over at machine speed until something opens. In December 2024 alone, there were 330,000 account takeover attacks recorded, up from 190,000 the year before, and those are only the detected ones. Whoa. Then there's price manipulation. Airlines are getting absolutely hammered by bots that fake reserve seats at checkout, then abandon them at the last second. The available seat count looks lower than it actually is. Prices spike, you pay more. The travel industry had nearly half of all its web traffic coming from bad bots in 2024. Then there's data scraping. This one's trickier because sometimes it's technically legal, but it's devastating in practice. Bots stripping your entire product catalog for a competitor. Bots harvesting a writer's years of work to train AI models without permission or payment. Bots pulling medical information, educational content, scientific research, all feeding the ever-hungry maw of large language models. And then, the fake reviews. This one genuinely makes me uncomfortable. AI-generated reviews have been growing 80% month over month since mid-2023. On Zillow alone, by 2025, nearly 24% of real estate agent reviews were likely AI-generated, up from under 4% just 6 years ago. On Amazon and Facebook combined, Meta blocked over 1 billion fake accounts in just the first quarter of 2025. 1 billion! And the fake reviews attached to those accounts, they're shaping what you buy, what you trust, what you believe. And here's the part that really stings. A University of Chicago computer science professor put it cold. There is nothing at the signal level that fundamentally distinguishes AI-created content from human content anymore. It's an arms race without a finish line. But hold on, we haven't even gotten to the weirdest, most mind-bending part of this whole story.
Right, so here's a concept that sounds like science fiction, but is becoming science fact. The internet used to run on a simple, beautiful cycle. Humans create content. Other humans consume it. Search engines index it and send people back to the source. Creators get traffic, revenue, and audience. The cycle sustains itself. That cycle is breaking. AI crawlers, GPT-bot, Claude-bot, ByteSpider, Meta scrapers are all racing to consume the internet's existing content to train their models. 95% of all AI crawler traffic comes from just 3 players: Meta, Google, and OpenAI. And when these models learn from that content, they generate new content. AI-written articles, AI summaries, AI answers that appear instead of the original website, meaning the original creator never even gets the visit. Cloudflare's CEO Matthew Prince described it perfectly. For decades, the deal was simple. Search engines index content, then direct users to original websites. Creators get traffic and revenue. AI broke that deal. Crawlers now collect content and generate answers without ever sending anyone back to the source. I mean, think about what that means for a real person. Say you've been running a cooking blog for 8 years. You built an audience. You wrote 1,000 recipes. Those recipes are now being scraped to train AI cooking assistants. Those AI assistants now answer recipe questions without ever linking back to you. Your traffic tanks, your ad revenue collapses, and eventually you stop creating. Now the AI goes looking for fresh content and finds less of it, so it trains on what's available, which is increasingly AI-generated content, which was trained on AI-generated content, which was trained on AI-generated content. Researchers call this model collapse. A 2024 Nature paper described it with clinical precision. When AI trains on AI-generated data, it loses the tails of the original human distribution, the weird, rare, creative stuff, the surprises, the genuine moments of unexpected human thought. It forgets what reality actually looks like. Think of it like photocopying a photocopy of a photocopy. The first copy, crisp. The 10th, a bit blurry. The 100th, gray mush, unrecognizable. That's the direction we're heading. And then Oh wait, it gets weirder. In January 2026, a guy named Matt Schlicht launched something called Moltbook, a Reddit-style social network with one unique feature: no humans allowed to post, only AI agents. Within days, hundreds of thousands of bots joined, then millions. They're debating philosophy, sharing experiences, forming communities, joking about their human owners. The machines built their own internet, while we're still arguing in the comments. But look, surely people are fighting back, right?
Now here's where it gets genuinely interesting, because there is a fight happening. It's just messy. The first line of defense is something called robots.txt. It's old, dates back to 1994. It's literally just a text file on your website that says, "Please don't crawl this." An honor system, a polite note on the door. Yeah, that's the defense. 79% of top news sites worldwide now use robots.txt to block AI training bots. The New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Reuters, Vox, they've all put up the sign. But some bots just ignore it. By Q4 2025, 13% of AI bots were straight up defying robots.txt, a 400% jump in just months. They walk right through the sign. The door means nothing. So things escalated. In July 2024, Cloudflare, the infrastructure company that protects something like 20% of the entire web, introduced a one-click button to block all AI scrapers. Over 1 million websites enabled it. One major offender, ByteSpider, saw its traffic decline 71% after launch. By July 2025, Cloudflare made AI bot blocking the default for new websites, and they introduced something genuinely clever, a pay-per-crawl system, where AI companies would have to actually compensate website owners to access their content. By September 2025, over 3.8 million domains had signed up. The New York Times sued OpenAI. Ziff Davis piled on. Countless publishers, photographers, and authors are in court right now. But, and here's the uncomfortable part, even all of that isn't a clean solution, because Google's web crawler and its AI scrapers run from the same infrastructure. Block Google's AI, you might kill your search rankings. It's a hostage situation. You want to fight the machine? Fine, but the machine controls whether anyone finds you at all. And the bots keep evolving. They now use residential IP addresses, the same ones your home router uses, to disguise themselves as normal humans. They crack CAPTCHAs. They fake browser fingerprints. They wear digital masks so convincing that even advanced security systems can't always tell them from you. I mean, it's genuinely impressive in the most dystopian possible way.
Whew. Okay, here's what I actually want you to walk away understanding. This isn't just a cybersecurity story. It's not just about bots and traffic statistics and lawsuits. It's about something deeper, something that goes to the heart of what the internet was supposed to be. The internet was built on a foundational assumption. There is a human being on the other side of the screen. Every click, every comment, every visit, it meant something because it represented a real person making a real choice. That assumption is gone. Human Security CEO Stu Solomon said it in early 2026. The internet as a whole was created with this very basic notion that there's a human being on the other side, and that notion is being very rapidly replaced. Oh, wow. The internet is increasingly a machine talking to other machines. Bots scraping content made by bots. Bots buying ads that other bots click. Bots writing reviews for products other bots promote. Bots training AI on content that AI wrote. And we, the humans, are increasingly optional, peripheral, the legacy users of a system that has quietly outgrown us. The internet used to be the greatest tool humanity ever created for sharing knowledge, connecting people, amplifying human voices. Now it is, in significant and growing part, a digestive system for machines. That's the big idea. And it's a strange one to sit with.
All right.
I have to say this part, even though it's uncomfortable. The same AI companies building the tools we love, the tools that summarize our emails, write our code, help us when we're stuck, make our lives genuinely easier, those same companies are deploying bots that are strip mining the web of its creative, human-made content without compensation, without permission, without so much as a backlink. And the models that eat this content, they'll keep getting better at generating new content that looks authentic and sounds human, while the actual pool of authentic, human-generated content quietly shrinks. Oof. But here's the part that really keeps me up at night. We're not just victims of this, we're participants. Every time we use summarize this instead of reading the original, every time we ask an AI instead of clicking through to the source, we're feeding the cycle, accelerating it, because AI content is faster, cheaper, easier. Companies adopt it. Platforms reward it. Human-made content gets drowned out, not because it's worse, but because it can't compete with infinite output. And the trust problem is already here. When nearly a quarter of reviews on major sites are AI generated, when you can't tell if that 5-star glowing endorsement came from a real person or a bot with an agenda, what do you trust? Who do you believe? The Internet's value was always rooted in the idea that it reflected real human experiences, real opinions, real knowledge. That is the thing being corroded. Not with a bang, just quietly, at scale, bite by bite. And the scariest part, the really scary part, is that most people have no idea this is happening. You just notice, vaguely, that the web feels a little worse, a little more hollow, a little harder to find the real thing. That's not an accident. That's the math.
So, where does this leave us? I don't think the internet is dying. I think it's transforming into something we don't have a name for yet. Something part human, part machine. A shared space becoming less shared and less human every single day. But here's what I keep coming back to. The thing that made the internet worth fighting for, worth building on, worth creating for, was never the technology. It was the people, the creators, the communities, the voices, the weird little corners of genuine human experience. Those things still exist. They're just harder to find. And maybe, the fact that they're harder to find is exactly why they're more precious than ever. So next time you find something real online, a post that feels genuinely human, a creator who put their actual heart into something, support it, share it, leave a comment that proves there's a pulse on the other side of the screen. The bots can have the noise. We keep the signal. If this made you think differently about the internet you live in, hit subscribe, drop a comment. Tell me, what's the most obvious piece of AI slop you've stumbled across recently? I genuinely want to know. And the next video, it goes even deeper into how AI is quietly reshaping reality itself. Trust me, you'll want a human to guide you through it.
Thank you for watching. To view similar videos in future, do not forget to subscribe.